Kendrick dropped Not Like Us, a diss with 12 sex offender pins on Drake's mansion in the cover, to turn what Drake is so good at doing in beefs against him, turning Drake's most iconic associated brands and names into reminders of those allegations forever, with OVO,
say OVO,
and 69 God.
Freaky ass nigga, he a 69 God.
It's a song that represents the West Coast and gets back at Drake for using AI Snoop and Tupac, with a Draco the Ruler, Remble, E40 type flow.
All these chains on my neck, I need toe hammers, nigga.
A hi-fi Northern California mustard beat, and many direct references to Pac and his legacy.
There's all eyes on me and I'ma send it up to Pac.
Let's go line by line and break it all down. This line is the hardest hitting of the song.
Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor.
The double entendre of Drake's trolling with memes to try and strike a chord or affect Kendrick's emotions, and then also referring to the accusations of Drake's relationships with minors. The song that Kendrick first talked about this on, Meet the Grams, was in the key of A minor. Not only that, but Drake's song Teenage Fever is also in A minor. This song is in B minor, which makes sense since Kendrick just promised to.
Up to score with him.
But starting from the beginning, that first line,
I see dead people,
is a reference to the 1999 movie The Sixth Sense.
I see dead people.
An obvious reference to Drake's association with the number 6. And the child in the movie says the line to the therapist, which is in theme of his therapy session like disses on Meet the Grams. And the film was also referenced in Euphoria with this line.
And my sixth sense telling me to off him.
TDE founder Ant also teased the line in this tweet. Kendrick repeating the mustard producer tag
Mustard on the beat, ho.
is a direct reference to Drake on Family Matters.
You know who really bang and set my nigga YG.
Since YG is actually the one who said that tag in his 2011 song I'm Good.
Mustard on that beat, ho.
The next line tries to paint Drake as a sociopath and a bully
Debo, any rat nigga, he a freak though.
by comparing him to Debo from Friday and referencing DeMar DeRozan, who goes by Debo, and was a key player for Toronto's Raptors, a team Drake is an ambassador for, but is originally from Compton, as Kendrick references later in the song.
I'm glad D-Rose came home, y'all didn't deserve him neither.
The next line references this Drake meme from TikTok.
What do you mean breathe, breathe? Don't tell me to breathe.
Call her Amber Lamps, tell him breathe, bro.
And pronounces ambulance as amber lamps.
Bring ambulance.
The next line, where Kendrick compares what he's doing to Drake in his career as a crucifixion,
Nella nigga to the cross, he walk around like Tizo.
references the artist Tizo Touchdown, who's famous for having nails in his hair. The next line defends Kendrick's hometown Compton from what he sees as culture vulture activity from Drake, who shot a music video for the game's song 100 in Compton.
What's up with these jabroni ass niggas trying to see Compton?
This really starts the song's idea of Drake being a colonizer that he gets into later. His reference to John Stockton here
I'm finna pass on this body, I'm John Stockton.
could be referring to a jazz teammate Stockton passed to for much of his career, Karl Malone, who's known for impregnating a 13-year-old as an adult. He makes another reference to that West Coast heritage with this line mentioning Death Row Records,
Start shit, bully the flow on him.
and in this verse gets straight to making those allegations directly.
Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young, just make sure you hide your little sister from him.
This is a reference to Drake's relationship with Lotto's little sister, Brooklyn Nicole, and this is where he starts to name drop and add some credibility to his dirt by referencing specific members of OVO and their habits.
They tell me Chubb's the only one that get your hand-me-downs.
Saying Drake's head of security gets the girls that Drake has already gone with.
And party at the party playing with his nose now.
Saying Party Next Door has a coke problem.
Baka got a weird case, why is he around?
And directly referencing one of the known sex offenders Drake has on his payroll on OVO, Baka Not Nice, who Drake has a line specifically shouting out, waiting for him to get out of jail for that same case.
I might declare it a holiday as soon as Baka get back on the road.
With this reference to Certified Lover Boy, an album with a bunch of pregnant women on the cover,
Certified lover boys, certified pedophiles.
and tries to drive home that association with him. The chorus, They Not Like Us,
They not like us.
interpolates Pusha T's 2015 shot at Drake on Darkest Before Dawn.
They not like us.
And the second verse focuses on Kendrick defending the West Coast as its biggest ambassador,
You think the Bay gon' let you disrespect Pop, nigga?
threatening his life whenever he plans to do his next show in the Bay.
I think that Oakland show gon' be your last stop, nigga.
This references how Drake is sending shots at Cole now for apologizing and showing his disloyalty to someone he was on the same side of this beef with.
They cold foul, I don't know why you still pretending.
This line is an obvious reference to the OVO owl.
What is the owl? Bird niggas and bird bitches.
And in the next few lines, he responds to Family Matters and Drake's response to Meet the Grams by claiming that Drake is just going to continue his lying streak,
Shape the stories how you want.
and that he's undermining the audience's intelligence if they think they're going to believe him.
Hey Drake, they're not slow.
This line continues to play into the danger of Drake ever going back to Cali by referencing the film Malibu Most Wanted,
P rest stands for bitchin', you Malibu most wanted.
a film with a main character named Brad. These next lines are another reference to Drake getting robbed in 2009,
You niggas will get a wedgie, be flipped over your boxes.
the same year Kendrick was starting his career, dropping his first ever EP as Kendrick Lamar and not K-Dot.
Since 2009, I had this bitch jumping.
This line is just a gay joke about Drake and the OVO crew.
OVO foe, the other vaginal option.
And then this is a really subtle dig at OVO 40, Drake's longtime friend and producer, who has multiple sclerosis, a nervous system disease that affects posture.
Nigga better straighten they posture.
This line makes fun of Drake for wearing nail polish.
Then I'm hands on, he fuck around, get polished.
And then this line attempts to bring back tension between Drake and his mentor Wayne,
Fucked on Wayne Grow like he was in jail, that's conniving.
for when Drake betrayed him and slept with his girlfriend while Wayne was in jail in 2010.
Had my heart broken by this woman named Tammy. But hoes gon' be hoes,
so I couldn't blame Tammy.
And then calling it a bitch move that he got Wayne's face tatted on his arm in 2017.
Get his face tatted like a bitch apologizing.
Something that a girl that's going through it with her man would do to apologize. He defends his fellow Compton native Serena Williams,
Launch it down to Central, nigga better not speak on Serena.
who Drake disrespected after dating in 2015, in his 2022 song Middle of the Ocean, where he called her husband and groupie for no reason.
Sidebar, Serena, your husband a groupie.
He references the sex offenders Drake is enabling again with the shot at Baca.
Your homeboy needs subpoena, that predator moving flocks.
That also references the album art.
That name gotta be registered and placed on neighborhood watch.
And then channels his continuation of Pac's legacy with this line referencing Pac's All Eyes on Me.
Yeah, it's all eyes on me and I'ma send it up the pot.
In the same way Pac was beefing with all of Bad Boy Records, Kendrick sees himself as beefing with all of OVO.
Put the road label on me, I'ma get them dropped.
This line is a reference to wrestler Shawn Michaels,
Sweet chin music and I won't pass the ox.
whose finishing move is called Sweet Chin Music, and his biggest rival was a Canadian too, Bret Hart. This line doubles down on Drake being a liar and a morally corrupt agent of the devil, this picture that Kendrick's trying to paint,
Devil is a lie.
referencing the Rick Ross song The Devil Is a Lie. He ends off the second verse that's focused on avenging the West Coast with this line.
City is back up, it's a must, we outside.
The fourth verse shifts focus from the West Coast to Atlanta, responding to Drake's line about Kendrick's political music acting like he freed the slaves,
Always rapping like you about to get the slaves free.
Homie still double down, calling us some slaves.
creating a metaphor of how settler colonialists rob cities of their resources, and that Atlanta was historically a mecca for technological advancement. Connecting that to the similar advancements in music in the case of the Atlanta artists Drake has collaborated with. All the artists he names are pioneers, and he's arguing Drake just went into the city and used them for credibility and profit.
You run to Atlanta when you need a few dollars. No, you're not a colleague, you a fucking colonizer.
From his collaborator on Her Loss,
21, get your first street cred.
to Future, who's well known for his pull in Atlanta strip clubs like Magic City.
You called Future when you didn't see the club.
This line about 2 Chainz references Drake's feature on the 2 Chainz song No Lie,
What 2 Chainz say you good, but he lied.
and he ends his verses with references to Drake's response Family Matters,
The family matter and the truth of the matter.
doubling down on accusations of Drake being a pathological liar from his previous disses.
God's plan to show y'all the liar.
Family Matters breakdown up next. Thanks for watching as always. Let me know what I missed down below.